Straight ahead on CCX News, the evolution of early voting. We check in with local election clerks to explain why this could be a record-setting year. Plus, a sign of growth. The new addition in Plymouth that comes along with an abundance of new homes. But first, a fight to raise awareness.
I knew that something wasn't right.
A Maple Grove woman's diagnosis that at first she couldn't believe. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. It is a fatal disease and there is no known cure.
A Maple Grove woman was recently diagnosed with ALS, but as Sonia Goins reports, she's not throwing in the towel and she has a lot of fight left in her.
How are you?
Today is a good day for Lisa Traddles.
Oh, good. I've got to talk to you for a long time.
Her upbeat personality greets customers at a holiday store in Maple Grove.
You doing all right? Is the house done painted?
From the outside, you would never know she's carrying the weight of the world.
This is my kettlebell. This is my most favoriteest thing, and I will never be able to use it again.
On her shoulders.
I feel like I'm still in denial. I mean, I know it's there. They're making me go to these ALS clinics every 3 months, and they made the diagnosis and all that, but try swallowing that.
She was recently diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The nervous system disease weakens muscles.
I knew that something wasn't right.
And the former gym rat can no longer do what she used to do.
I got more and more into the training thing, and I was just running with it.
Lisa says she knew something wasn't right when her arm muscles started to bother her.
I have really no use of all with this arm.
Eventually, she went to HCMC and was put through a battery of tests.
MRIs on my brain and my neck.
The disease is already affecting her speech.
You have to slowly think about what you're saying.
ALS is always fatal, and there's only a 5% chance a person will make it to 10 years.
And this is only the beginning.
But Lisa is not giving up. She's also not in this battle alone.
My daughter is a strong girl. She is, but you haven't met her mother.
Lisa's mom, Becky Armstrong, is with her every step of the way.
I got some ribbon, and the blue and the white stripe is for ALS. You just take and fold them.
Becky is on a mission, promising not only to be there for her daughter,
I will do this for the rest of my life,
but to also raise awareness.
Today I went out and I was putting up some flyers.
Becky is making ribbons for an upcoming fundraiser.
I will take care of my daughter.
Fighting the good fight right alongside her daughter.
Something's going to happen. I've asked God for a miracle.
Despite Lisa's grim prognosis, she's optimistic about her outlook.
I like to think that I'm on the other end of that because I am very physically fit, I would say, and I have a super wonderful positive energy.
Now, Lisa's doctors told her she has 2 to 4 years to live, but that depends on how fast the ALS progresses, and there is no treatment to slow it down or stop it. As you can imagine, she has a lot of medical bills. A fundraiser will be held at the Osseo American Legion on August 11th. There's also a GoFundMe page. We'll put all that information on our website, ccxmedia.org. Alex and Shannon, Lisa's a remarkable woman, determined to live life to the fullest, no matter what.
You can tell. Thank you very much, Sonia. Early voting here in the Northwest Metro is on the rise. In fact, across Minnesota, early voting is on pace to set a record. In Brooklyn Park, voter turnout numbers have already surpassed the number of early voters in 2016. 2 years ago, 400 people voted absentee. So far this year, it's more than 500. Brooklyn Park City Clerk says a big reason many people have decided to vote early has to do with what's on the ballot.
And it's a governor's race, and then there's a special election for Al Franken's seat. So both parties have more than 2 candidates in each election. That's drawn a high interest in that race, on all the races.
The Hennepin County election manager says early voting numbers are also up across the county. The last day to vote early is on August 13th.
The northwest part of Plymouth is rapidly expanding with new homes and now a new park. This week, the city opened a 5-acre park called Crooked Creek Park. Parkgoers can slide into the park on the city's first roller slide. The woodland-themed playground equipment mimics the forested area nearby, and there's also vacant fields where kids can play. This park serves new neighborhoods south of Highway 55 near the Medina border.
It's growing rapidly, and with each development we've been very fortunate. We've been working with great developers that are setting land aside as park dedication so we can build future parks to accommodate the growth.
Eventually, the park will grow to 12 acres as the city acquires more land as the area develops. Plymouth has a goal to have a park within a half mile of every house in the city. A Maple Grove tradition is now in its 15th year.
The Maple Grove Farmers Market serves as a source of community pride, promoting healthy living and local agriculture. Meredith Hackler is live at the Maple Grove Farmers Market, where she's discovered some tasty treats. Hi, Meredith.
Yeah, that's right. You know what, where I come from, they do not have coffee at farmers markets, but this is exactly the kind of treat that I want around 4 o'clock. And if you head out here, you can visit Willow's Coffee. They're going to be here until 7 o'clock along with many of the other vendors. But you know what, if coffee isn't your style, if you're kind of looking for the more traditional farmers market trend, they have all that you could ever want. You have tomatoes here, potatoes, cucumbers, everything that you could ever imagine. But here to chat with me a little bit about what there is to offer here is Kristen Vanson-Weagle. We're fighting the crowd a little bit here. That goes to show you just how many people come out. You know, how long are you guys going to be out here? And also, you told me something earlier that was interesting. Everything here is locally owned, right?
That's correct, yeah. So our market stretches through October 25th. So we're barely getting warmed up. We've got a lot of great farmers market time ahead. We're open 3 to 7 on Thursdays through September, 3 to 6 in the month of October. Yeah, and we're really proud that everything here is locally grown or vendor made, we say. So the vendors you meet at the farmers market will all have a role in making, growing, producing the items that you purchase here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kirsten. And as you heard, you can come out here until 7 o'clock. There's lots of people here now, and there's lots of produce to go around. Back to you guys.
All right, looks like fun. Thank you, Meredith. A church in Brooklyn Center is committed to being difference makers.
And they are opening their doors to feed the community on Wednesday nights.
Well, I love to cook. I love to talk. And I love people. And I just love helping. And it's fun. I enjoy it.
Why not?
Volunteers at Lutheran Church of the Masters say they could not be more excited to begin hosting grace dinners again. The church fed the community for several years along with another group, but the program disbanded about 2.5 years ago. The pastor said the time was right for the church to bring the program back as a way to serve the community.
We had 52 people in the congregation sign up like instantly saying, I want to help, which really as a pastor made me feel wonderful because they got it, because that's what we're all called to do, is to lead and to help and to serve.
Anyone, regardless of religious beliefs, is invited to come and get a free dinner on Wednesday night at the church. It's on 69th Avenue. Still ahead on CCX News, a summer camp with Osseo area schools that helps kids with their handyman skills.
Plus, Wayzata opens play in the State American Legion baseball tournament. That's later in sports.
But first, heating up, much warmer on Friday with temperatures in the upper 80s. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Children can pick up a variety of skills at summer camp, but it's not often that they learn how to help their parents with projects around the house.
Oh, it's good to know. As Delane Cleveland reports in this week's edition of What I Learned at Summer Camp, a class offered by the Osseo School District is helping kids develop skills that will last them a lifetime.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
All summer long, Maple Grove's Cedar Island Elementary has been home to Camp Rocks, a home for a variety of academic programs.
Good.
This week, kids are brushing up on their reading and math skills. But farther down the hall, there's another camp taking place that requires students to make things out of blocks of wood.
They are learning from very basic skills, how to use hand tools, how to measure, how to cut, how to build some very basic projects towards some more sophisticated projects.
Welcome to Woodworking Camp.
Right?
It's a week-long class led by Pavel Yanni.
Nice break from computers and iPhones and really getting down to the earth and, you know, having feet on the ground.
For many of the children here, it's their first time getting the opportunity to work with hand tools.
Long and even strokes.
Not only does it require a certain amount of physical exertion,
It's really tiring.
woodworking also involves pinpoint precision, as Kat Klopotic of Maple Grove discovered.
You always have to measure and then remeasure and then re-remeasure, because if there's just like a slightest error, nothing. If we're building something where you have to put stuff together, a slight error can make the whole thing fall apart.
Today, the students are making their own race cars.
You can kind of see that it is quite advanced project when it comes to design and measuring and cutting, and once again it's all about accuracy and precision and patience.
Yanni is there to help guide them every step of the way.
That's wonderful. Do it one more time.
Ensuring that they're doing it safely and that they're having fun as they make something completely from scratch.
At first it's just like a bar of wood, and then as you like shape it and sand it, it starts looking more and more, and then when it's finished, it's like, wow, how is this ever at one point just a plank of wood?
Next up, these kids can use their newfound skills to help their parents with projects around the house.
I believe these skills will stay with them for the rest of their lives.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The kids will have several options to choose from for their final project. They can opt to build a board game, a jewelry box, a baseball bat holder, or a key holder. So good for them.
Absolutely.
It'll be very handy one day down the line.
Right?
Still had one big sale in Maple Grove for vinyl record collectors.
But first, pro angler Terry Tuma discusses some exciting new products to help your fishing experience. Jay Wilcox is in next with sports.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. As we get into August, many summer sports have ended or are wrapping up. The top American Legion baseball teams are competing in the State Division I tournament. That includes Wayzata Post 118. They face Coon Rapids in round one at Richfield, bottom of the second. Coon Rapids with the runner on, but Matthew Bolke gets the inning-ending strikeout for Wayzata. Bottom of the third, Coon Rapids threatens again. This time Braden Farley delivers for the Cardinals with a 2-out RBI single for a 1-0 lead. That's how it stays until the 6th, when Wayzata gets 2 runs. Delaney Dahl comes home on the wild pitch here for a 2-1 Trojans lead. And after that run in the third, Bolke is on point. He gets the K here in the 7th for the first out. And then Blake Ask finishes it off, getting the strikeout to end the game. Wayzata advances in the winner's bracket with a 2-1 win. As we showed you earlier this week, a young group of baseball players from the West African nation of Benin is in Robbinsdale this week for a tournament. The tournament is getting started Thursday afternoon. It's a wood bat tournament and the last chance to play this summer for most of the teams involved. This is a tune-up practice for the Benin team, wearing gear donated by the St. Louis Park Little League. They've had a great time with a whirlwind of activities in the Twin Cities and are now ready to play ball.
We are ready to take part in this tournament. We're going to start it off tonight, and I can say that we've been working a lot. We're having the practice in, so far so good. Then I can say we're ready for the tournament.
This time around, they're going to go up another level, so they're going to be playing more difficult teams. But they're very athletic and they're a bigger group than the last group we had in. So I think that they will compete. So it'll be interesting to see how they do this weekend.
Team Benin plays its first game Thursday evening at 6:15 against Crystal Selects at Lakeview Terrace Park. That tournament runs through Sunday. There are a lot of new fishing products coming on the market late this summer and in the fall. Terry Tuma takes a look at a few of those in this week's CCX Fishing Tip.
As I mentioned last week, we're going to cover more new ICAST products at Orlando, Florida show. And one of them that also won the Best Marine award was the Minn Kota trolling motor. And that trolling motor has now down imaging, which is 3 times more powerful, if you will, more frequencies. It's going to show that angler exactly what's below the bow or the boat. Very, very useful for all species of fish, and it's going to be available very, very shortly at your marine dealers and, of course, other locations. And then also Rapala has introduced a lot of new products. One is a Nico skirt, and that's going to enhance a Nico rigging, if you will, with the vibration and color and bulk. And then also Rapala also has introduced with the search bait by Storm is with this search bait. Now it's going to have a small lip on it where it's going to dive deeper, and it's going to swim maybe a little bit straighter, if you will, and then also bucktail jigs. And then, of course, too, they have enhanced some of their colors on some of their crankbaits. They have come out with just a ton of new products also. It's something that came out about mid-season last year, something that I need to mention, but we all have witnessed our electronics, you know, your Hummingbirds and Lawrence, where they fall down, if you will, or drop down because of rough water going down the highway. And this tool just goes over that handle or that wing nut, if you want to call it that wing handle, and you just torque it down as tight as you can. Since I've been using this, I have not had one issue whatsoever. It's a great tool, very inexpensive, that we should all have in our boat. Be sure to tune next week for another tip.
Thanks, Terry, and that's all for sports. Back to you, Shannon and Alex.
All right, thanks, Jay. Up next, Ready, Set, Bargain Shop.
And 2 unique garage sales when we come back. And finally, a treasure trove for bargain hunters.
Reporter Neil Persley takes us to a few unique sales.
Whether it's a yard sale, garage sale, or rummage sale, bargains are out there just waiting to be had, like at the Osseo United Methodist Church. And no matter who you are or what your interest, you'll probably find something you can't live without.
Most of us working have been carrying things out that here we bring and then we carry home just as much. I'm not sure that helps clean our houses, but we sure find treasures.
If you want to narrow down your circle of search, Steve Quaddy in Maple Grove and one of his buddies have a one-day sale this Saturday for you vinyl aficionados.
Most people are all about variety when they advertise their sales. I hear them about one item only, that's vinyl records, and as you can see, there's quite a pile of them here.
Steve has a bit of everything from the 60s to today, so if you're into records, this is a do-not-miss sale.
You never own your record collection, you're just looking after it for a while.
Happy hunting in Maple Grove. Neil Persley, CCX News.
Lots to find. The big record sale is at 12718 74th Avenue North in Maple Grove, and the Osseo United Methodist Church sale starts Friday at 9 a.m. I don't know about you, Alex, but those cupcake cookie jars got your name all over it.
You spotted them in the background. I don't know about that. I'm trying to purge.
And they had more than one. I'm really impressed. Lots of good things out there.
I think you can find just about anything when you head out to a sale like that.
Absolutely.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock.